There aren't a lot of books about children's books about adoption, especially transracial adoption. And that's why Valerie Kaiyang Wood wrote her own. She joins us now with more on V in Between, and she joins us from Ottawa this morning. Nice to have you on the show. Tell me about the story of V in Between, without giving it away, of course.
Oh my gosh, that's kind of tough. So V in Between is a children's book based on my own experiences of being adopted from China, and it tells the story of a fictionalized version of myself, a young V, as she navigates her identity as an adoptee. She loves her family very much, but she wants to learn more about her birth culture. So she starts Chinese dance class, and there as she learns more about her identity, she starts feeling pulled between being Canadian and being Chinese, and she tries to reconcile that. And ultimately, she gets advice from an older adoptee, and she learns that there's a way to be in between all of these different identities. Oh, there's her and the older adoptee.
Yes, and the older adoptee has your name.
Yeah. So V is the young girl, and then Kaiyang is the dance teacher and the older adoptee. And I like to think of it as if V is a young me, Kaiyang is an older me, and Kaiyang is able to tell V the things that I wish I could tell a younger me, and maybe help her feel a little bit less alone in trying to navigate these big feelings.
Mm-hmm. Now, why write a children's book like this? Do you have your own children and we're trying to explain things to them, or did you just see like a void in that category of children's books?
Yeah, it was definitely the latter. I don't have kids, but I saw that there wasn't a lot of children's books that talked about some of these harder topics when it came specifically to adoption. There's really no books that talk about transracial adoption from the experience of an adoptee, or specifically Chinese adoption in Canada at least. So this was a way of kind of filling that gap, as you say. And I was a student at Carleton writing my master's, so this was the centerpiece of my thesis for my master's. So it was kind of a dual purpose project at first, but then since it's been published, it's reaching a much wider audience.
Mm-hmm. And since it's been published, what kind of feedback have you been getting? Because I can imagine that this would be a great book to read for parents who are about to adopt. Yeah,
I've gotten a lot of good feedback. I think the feedback that's been the most special to me so far has been from fellow adoptees who have said that they see themselves in the story and they remember feeling similar ways to V, either as a child or even now into young adulthood. So that's been really special. Also just families who have children in general who maybe haven't heard about transracial adoption. So it's opened up a lot of conversations about adoption and race. In terms of families who are going to adopt, I haven't heard of any yet, but hopefully people will get back to me and say that maybe it was a way of kind of seeing what life will be like for themselves and their adopted children.
Mm-hmm. Because that in between, do you feel that it helped writing this book and doing your thesis on it? Did it kind of, for you, help you figure out, okay, where on the in-between should I be?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. I think I had really hoped that writing this book would show me exactly who I was and how I felt, but if anything, it's shown me that, like you said, it's a bit of there's a lot of space in that in-between, and some days you're going to be in one spot and other days you're going to be in another. So that's what I actually would say, is that the book has maybe made me realize that it's okay to not be 100% sure about where you fall on that spectrum. So, and I'm hoping other people will feel that as well, that it's okay to not be 100% sure about who you are. That doesn't mean that you're not who you're supposed to be.
Right. It's a beautiful story, and thank you for sharing with us. And again, V in Between by Valerie Kaiyang Wood is out now. And we'll get more details up on our website, chch.com/morninglive.